Be sure to cook.
Welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today, we're going to be making roasted potato salad. So stay tuned and let's do this. In a pot, I'm going to boil 4 eggs. I put a lot of salt in it. I'm going to do 4 hard-boiled eggs. I've got a bag of Petite Gourmet potatoes. I am going to cut these up, slice these, and we're going to roast these. Okay, I have my strainer where I'm going to rinse off my potatoes. I'm putting it down into my sink, and I'm going to cut these potatoes in half. I want them pretty much even because, one's getting away, and I'm just going to throw them down there. Okay, I'm going to lay these potatoes out on a big long row of paper towels. Oops, because I want these potatoes dry. Then I'm just going to throw these potatoes in, already washed, rinsed, and clean. I'm going to use a little paprika on my potatoes. That goes in potato salad anyway. I'm just going to sprinkle a little dill because we're going to be putting that also on our potato salad. But I wanted to kind of like just a tiny bit of, dill. And then a little of parsley, just a little bit of parsley in here. And I'm going to toss that around. And then I have some sea salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle some sea salt right on these potatoes. And then last but least, now we're going to just add some olive oil in there, not too much, just to get them all kissed up and touched. Because guess what? We're baking this, right? And when we bake these, we want them roasted. We want them to be nice and roasted. Okay, you can tell I have really been using this. I love it. I'm going to buy some more. I have a whole bunch, and they all look like this because I've used a lot of them. These are just those little plastic cover things that you put on your pan so they will not stick and burn. I'm going to dump all those beautiful looking potatoes in there. Let me get a spatula here because guess what? I want all of that goodness to be covered on those potatoes. So I want all that seasoning and I want to sprinkle that around. I'm sorry, cameraman, he is so close and I'm just sprinkling. I want these to be tossed and I want everything to have its own space so I can make sure I cook every last one of these potatoes without them being on top of each other because we do not need that. Okay, these are going to go in to a 355 degree oven. There we go. All right, I have my eggs that I am going to peel. And I put a lot of salt in my eggs so they can come out really easy. And I'm going to take this egg here. When I do this egg, I'm going to take the shell. See how it comes off? And put it down at the bottom. I got a strainer down here that strains up all my food. And if you put it in a nice hot water, the egg should peel off very fine. But the water's got to be nice and hot. And since my water is like 3rd degree burns, I put on as much as I can take it so these eggs can peel straight off. Okay, look at these. These are starting to cook. Yes, I'm going to flip these back over and give them some more chance. I want all of these actually to be turned over. Okay, I'm going to use a cup of mayonnaise. Okay, that was what I got off my spoon. I'm going to take this cup and I'm going to make sure it hits in. I'm doing a cup to a pound because sometimes you could do a half a cup, but sometimes you know how you get the potato salad. It is great and all, but then all of a sudden it's dry, it goes to the refrigerator, it comes out, and you're like, Oh my God, this potato salad is so dry. But you don't want to tell the person that you don't like it because it needs to be a little bit more wetter. Or if you like your dry, just keep using a half cup. But I'm using a cup this time to make sure it is nice and wet and creamy. Okay, so in this potato salad, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. It's already got paprika on those potatoes, but remember I told you I was going to put just a little bit more, and that's the little bit more. Then everything's going to be 1/4 because we want it to be delicious, but we also don't want it to overwhelm us. I don't want to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard. Dill is so strong to me, so I'm not even using 1/4. I'm using a half of that 1/4 to put in here. Okay, so I don't have onions, real onions that I'm putting in there today because I don't want the onions, but I am using onions, but I'm using like a green onion. But I want that onion taste a little bit. I'm using 1/4 teaspoon of dry onion powder. Okay, I've got some celery seed instead of fresh celery. I'm not with that today. I'm with the celery seed. I'm using 1/4 celery seed because that is also strong. Okay, one more thing, and this is Mrs. Dash blend with all the seasons. I put that in my potato salad. I make all different types of potato salad. You got to try them all because they're really unusual. Okay, so I'm just going to stir all this up. And I know you're like, oh, but look at all that. All those seeds, that is a marinade by itself. Believe me. I washed and rinsed my green onion. I only need 2 sparrow sticks right here. And I'm dried these off with a paper towel. And I cut each tip off and each bottom tip off. As you see, this one has not been cut off at all. So I'm going to cut these in a real thin. I always say thin. I know y'all saying everything has to be thin, but you don't want no big old hunk of onion in your potato salad. Okay, I've got my potatoes. They're nice and cooled down. I washed the bowl and put this bowl into the refrigerator, and it is ice cold. I'm going to take my potatoes and I'm going to throw those into this nice cold bowl. And look at that. Look at the brownness of their on there. Oh, and they have been roasted with pure love. I said pure love. That's that country talking. Okay, I've got a hard boiled egg that I am going to cut in wedges. Okay, I'm going to cut it into 4. This is the potato salad that I am making. And then I'm going to cut it. And then I want all of this to shine out. All you need is about 2, because I want it all to be in there. Yeah, and I want to cut these up. I want everybody to have a great big egg in there. Okay, I want to kind of mix this up. I want to make sure I break some of that yolk, hard yolk, so everybody can get a little bit of that. I want to mix that up. Great. Then I'm going to pour some of this mayonnaise. I put the mayonnaise in a separate bowl, and I'm going to toss this. I'm just going to toss this. Okay. Oh, there you go. This is looking scrumptious. And you want to toss it like folded in. You want to make sure it's really covered with all of the mayonnaise. I'm going to add some green onions in here. try to get some of the little whites, just a sprinkle of those. And I want to cover all of this. There we go. I sprinkle a little of sugar on top, maybe a pinch or two of your type of sugar to get a little bit of the sweet kick, just a little bit. I'm not telling, or you can take your mayonnaise mix and put like a half teaspoon of sugar in there and mix that up thoroughly. I did not do that. I should have did that first. But you can, some people don't like a little sweet, some people do. That's fine. So you're getting all these flavors. Be sure to cook. Today we're going to be doing meatball subs. We're going to do everything homemade. And I'm going to add a little Creole seasoning inside there. I'm going to give this a great stir. Look at that, guys. I am good to go. I hear you. Yes. Oh my God, that is wonderful. So that was about 4 to 5. I'm back.